Hello friends, today we are going to learn a very fascinating poem by John Keats, Ode to a Nightingale, which was published in 1819. It starts with the line, "My heart aches and a drowsy numbness pain, my sense as though of hemlock I had drank." The speaker opens with a physical sensation of paralysis and grief, comparing his state to poisoning by hemlock. In the next line he says, "Or emptied some dull opiate through the drains. 1 minute passed and late wards had sunk." He feels that he has drifted towards sleep, that is the mythological river of forgetfulness. He clarifies, "'Tis not thou envy of happy lot, but being too happy in thine happiness." That he is overwhelmed by birds' pure joy. That thou light-winged dryad of the trees in some melodious plot of beechen green and shadows numberless, singest of summer in full thought at ease. He addresses the nightingale as the wood nymph, dryad, singing effortlessly about summer within the leaf beech trees. Oh, for a draught of vintage that had been cooled long age in the deep dwelled earth. The speaker longs for aged subterranean wine to alter his consciousness. Tasting of flora in the country green, dance and provincial song and submit mirth. He envisions the wine tasting of flowers, the countryside, the folk dances, and the southern French festivities. Oh, for a break of full warm south, full of true and blushful hypocrene. He wishes for a cup filled with creative waters of hypocrene spring, the fountain of the muses, with bedded bubbles winking at the brim and purple strained mouth, that I might drink and leave the world unseen, and with thee fade away into the forest dim. His true motive is escapism, to dissolve out of human sight and join the nightingale in the dark woods. Fade far away, dissolve and quite forget what thou among the leaves hast never known. The bird lives outside human consciousness and is therefore free from existential suffering. The weariness, the fever and the fret, here where men sit and hear each other groan. Where palsy shakes a few sad last grey hairs, where youth grows pale and spectre thin and dies. Where but to think is to be full of sorrow and laden-eyed despairs. Where beauty cannot keep her lustrous eyes, or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. Both beauty and romantic passion are doomed to fade quickly in the mortal world. Away, away, for I will fly to thee, not charioted by Bacchus and his parade. Rejecting alcohol, the speaker chooses different vehicle for flight, both on the viewless wing of poesy. Thou, the dull brain, perplex and retards. He turns to the invisible powers of poetry and imagination despite the limits of human reason. Already with thee tender is the night, and happily the queen moon is on her throne. The transition happens instantly. In thought he joins the bird beneath a soft moonlight sky, clustered around by all her starry face. But here there is no light. While the heavens are bright with the stars, haze of fairies, the canopy below is nearly black, save what from heaven is with the breeze blown through wondrous gloom and winding mosey ways. Only faint glimmers of light filters through the dense leaves and forest paths. I cannot see what flowers are at my feet, nor what soft incense hangs upon the boughs. Blind in the dark, the speaker cannot visually identify the surrounding flora, but in emblem darkness guess each sweet wherewithin the sensible month endures. Surrounded by perfumed air, he identifies the plants entirely through scent. The grass, the thicket, and the fruit tree wild, white hawthorn and the pastoral eglantine. He catalogues the unseen spring vegetation through fragrance alone. Fast fading violets covered up in leaves and mid-May eldest child. He notes the fleeting life cycle of spring blooms. The coming musk rose full of dewy wine. The murmurous hunt of flies on summer eves. He imagines the future arrival of the musk rose and the home of summer insects. Darkling I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with easeful death. Listen in dark. The speaker admits a long-standing attraction to peaceful death. Called him soft names in many a mused rhyme, to take into the air my quiet breath. He has often quoted death in his poetry, as a release from suffering. Now more than ever seems it rich to die, to seize upon the midnight with no pain. Dying while immersed in the music feels ideal and painless, while thou art pouring forth thy soul abode in such an ecstasy. The bird's uninhabited transcendent song makes the moment of dissolution enticing. Still, why dost thou sing, and I have ears in vain? To thy high requiem became a sort. The reality returns. If he dies, the bird will keep singing, but he will be an unhearing lump of earth. Thou was not born for earth, immortal bird. No hungry generation treads thee down. The speaker elevates the nightingale to a symbol. Unlike humans, the bird's voice and essence are timeless. The voice I hear this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperor and clown. The exact same song has echoed across history, to high and low classes alike. Perhaps the self-same song that found a path through the sad heart of Ruth, where sick for whom she stood in tears amid the alien corn. He connects the song to the biblical Ruth, weeping in exile among foreign crops, the same that oft-time had charmed magic casements opening on the foam of perilous seas in fairy lands forlorn. The melody reaches into fairy tale realms, opening enchanted windows onto dangerous waters. Forlorn, the very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul cell. The word forlorn snaps the speaker out of his reverie like a morning bell, isolating him once more. Adieu, the fancy cannot cheat so well as she is famed to do deceiving eld. He bids farewell, admitting that imagination cannot completely shield him from reality. Adieu, adieu, the plaintive anthem fades past the near meadows over the still stream. The nightingale flies away and its song grows fainter across the landscape. Up the hillside and now 'tis buried deep in the next valley glades. The music vanishes entirely over the hills. The final lines presents an epistemological question. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music, do I wake or sleep?